And so, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, my new car, my 1992 Honda Beat, which after owning for a few months and driving for hundreds of miles, I have decided is the world's greatest sports car from the 90s. And in this video, I'm going to convince you of that. We're gonna dyno it, we're gonna weigh it, we're gonna race it. But first, I wanna talk about it and show you what makes this thing so awesome. Now, starting with the basics, it's obviously an incredibly small car, two-seater. One of the cool things about it is it's mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, and it has a 5-speed manual transmission. Which, of course, with that being said, it doesn't have very much trunk space. The engine takes up, the majority of the interior space. Barely even has a glove box, but that's not important. Now, what powers this thing and makes it a K car is a 656cc all aluminum, single overhead cam, inline 3-cylinder. When you first hear that, it probably sounds boring. Single overhead cam, only 600 cc's, 3-cylinder, but out of all the cars I've ever owned, this engine has been one of the funnest engines to drive and rip around on the street. There's a couple reasons for that. The engine, which is Honda's E07A, which is part of Honda's EO series of engines, were derived from Honda's EH series engines, which were partly developed for motorcycles. So this has a motorcycle engine, and because of that, it revs to 9,000 RPM and sounds absolutely glorious. Now, another thing that makes this engine awesome is Honda's M-Track, which stands for Multi-Throttle Responsive Engine Control, ITBs. This thing has ITBs, which makes it incredibly responsive and helps add to the sound. When you're in the driver's seat, you can hear the awesome induction noise from the ITBs, along with, of course, the awesome exhaust. You're probably asking yourself, how much power does this engine make? Well, we took it to a dyno and we found out. Now, just for reference, this is right after we finished dynoing my Turbo Miata, which made 380 wheel horsepower. What'd you say? You said 50? 50, that is optimistic. Supposedly it's 60 to the crank. Hey, it feels a strong 60. This is gonna be the fastest thing you've ever dynoed, Johnny. It's gonna get the red line real fast. Honestly, it looks so sick on the dyno. Oh, 48.
Oh, damn, I got it.
Yeah, 45. 35. Wait, can you do those two graphs on top? Oh, wait, there is. I didn't even see it. So yes, this top graph is the Turbo Miata, and the bottom line is the Honda Beat. Oh, that's funny. Get rid of the other one.
Shit, I thought the red one was the graph.
No. That is hilarious. That's a nice torque curve. Flat line. Want to try in third? So do you want to try in third?
I don't think it'll make much of a difference. You can try.
I just want to hear it again. Sounds sick though. Hey, 49! Whoa! Wait, should we heat it up?
Let's get another 5 horsepower.
When car guys have more fun dynoing a 50 horsepower car than a almost 400 horsepower car. Correction. Oh, it's going up. It's going up. Man, it's pretty humid out here today. My radio started working.
I turned it on. You just had to turn it on.
We're getting 50 horsepower here. Let's go! 52! Put in a lot of work for those extra 3 horsepower. That was awesome. Fun times. Now, on a completely random side note, the owner of the dyno had an awesome all-wheel drive supercharged K-Series EG hatch, and he offered to let both me and Yanni to launch it. And right before we did, he said, "Okay." Can you believe you just let someone hop in your car? Oh my god. That was wild. What? Sure, I guess. 50 wheel horsepower is not a lot, but the engine isn't the only thing that makes this car special. When people talk about light, low-powered, well-handling cars, terms like go-kart or terms like it's on rails are often thrown out. Those terms are often used to describe the driving experience of a Miata, one of my favorite cars. But this car takes those terms to a whole new level. As you saw in the beginning, this car makes a Miata look big. It's significantly shorter in wheelbase, significantly skinnier. It still has decent suspension, McPherson strut, multi-link rear. The shifter feels awesome. The throttle response is incredible. The brake feel is awesome. The steering, there's no power steering. It's super direct, it's got amazing feedback. It's the best example of car that you can get in, drive it for 5 minutes, and be comfortable enough to push it to the limit of its traction, which isn't a whole lot, but that's what makes it so fun. A car like this is the closest thing you can get to driving a go-kart on the street without actually driving a go-kart on the street. Of course, with it being so small, it is also probably pretty light, but I wanna find out how much it actually weighs, so let's put it on the scales. And drum roll. Oh, interesting. Honestly, heavier than I thought. 1,700 pounds, 56% rear, 44% front, so it's a nice, mid-engine weight distribution. Now that is 500 pounds lighter than a factory Miata, but I was expecting less. I was expecting in the 16s or 15s, but it is what it is. 1,700 pounds is still very low. So 50 wheel horsepower, 1,700 pounds. All right, it still has worse power to weight ratio than like a Miata. But I will say, when I first got this car, I expected it to be slow, and it actually isn't that slow. So I wanna race it against something that is, comparable, a well-handling, underpowered vehicle, like a Honda Fit. The shift. Oh, I missed the shift bad. That was intense. We were right there, neck and neck. Fastest race you've ever been in?
Yeah. It kind of felt like we were just going down the road.
We didn't hit 60?
You couldn't really tell when you were racing and when you were just driving.
The car is slightly faster than a Fit with 3 people in it. Wow. Woo. And of course, since this thing is a K car, one of the best things about it is its quirkiness. I mean, look at the thing. Part of it looks futuristic with the way the wheel arches are formed. Part of it looks 90s. The rear end makes it look kind of like a baby MR2. The front end almost looks CRX. The hood opens like a supercar, because of course it's a supercar. There's Japanese writing all over the thing since it's imported from Japan. It's got the iconic Japanese road flare. The glove box is non-existent. The gauge cluster essentially looks like somebody took the gauge cluster out of a motorcycle and just strapped it to the steering column. It's got functional air ducts on the side of it. It's got little beats all over it, in the floor mats, in the radio. It says midship amusement on the exterior of the car. I mean, this thing just screams quirkiness and uniqueness. And since it looks so funny and it is so tiny, it gets so much attention on the road. Even the average everyday Joe looks at this thing and says, what the heck is that? And so there it is, my 1992 Honda Beat. We are, of course, going to be modifying this thing, which it already has a few modifications, obviously wheels and tires. It's got BC Racing coilovers. It's got a Civic big brake kit up front, and it has some sort of aftermarket exhaust and intake. I don't want to do a crazy engine swap and ruin the beauty of this car's driving experience. I want to unleash the full potential of this engine. And so we're gonna be doing some fabricating, and we're going to be putting something on this car that I've never put on another car before. And hopefully, we're gonna be doubling the horsepower. Unlikely. But none of that is happening in the next video. In the next video, we are taking my turbocharged daily driver, my Honda Fit, to the dyno to see how much power it makes. I apologize, guys, for the delay in that video. In this video, I had some issues trying to schedule a dyno appointment. I had some issues with another video I was working on that was supposed to go live last week, and so that's why it all happened. But I promise it won't happen again. No more delays between videos. But of course, you can watch the video even sooner if you become a patron and support the channel. Patrons get early access to videos, access to a bunch of exclusive posts, and a bunch of other things. Free t-shirt, free stickers. Huge thank you to anyone who does that. Huge thank you to you all for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Boom.